This year sees the 950th anniversary of the Battle of Hastings. English Heritage is marking the anniversary with a new exhibition which tells the full story of how William of Normandy defeated King Harold on this very site to take the English throne. For the first time, visitors will be able to access the roof of the iconic Abbey Gatehouse and look out across the area in front of them, where the course of English history changed forever. Having defeated his own brother Tostig and Norwegian King Harald Hardrada at the Battle of Stamford Bridge, Harold had one rival to the throne left, and before the month's end, William and his army had landed on English shores. The two armies met at battle. The fighting was fierce, and even though King Harold held the tactically advantageous higher ground, his forces mostly consisted of infantrymen, whereas William's had more archers and cavalry.
The interesting thing about the Battle of Hastings is that we know very little with absolute certainty because a lot of the sources disagree with each other. But the one thing we can be fairly certain about is the location of the battle. I'm standing within Battle Abbey. I'm standing on the site of the Battle of Hastings. And we can be fairly sure about that because we have very early sources such as the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, which tells us that on the very spot where God granted him victory over the English, William caused a great abbey to be constructed, to be filled with monks and to be endowed with riches. And that's a statement which was written shortly after William's death. One of the burning questions were asked by visitors who come to Battle Abbey is, where was Harold killed? We think we have a fairly good idea of that location, and that's because of the historic tradition that the high altar of Battle Abbey was placed on the location where Harold's body was found after the battle. There's also the evidence of the Bayeux Tapestry, which shows Harold being killed next to his standard, and some of the early sources of the battle describe the standard being placed on the top of the hill overlooking the battlefield.
The battle was exceptionally long by medieval standards, lasting all day. Gradually the Normans gained the upper hand, until in the last attack Harold was killed. Leaderless, the English finally gave way and fled. William was crowned King of England on the 25th of December 1066 and ordered the abbey to be built on the site of the battle as a form of penance to God for his bloody seizing of the throne. To help improve understanding of the events of this most momentous of days, English Heritage has looked again at how we present the site and the battlefield. Many people assume the open parkland to the south of the monastic precinct is where the battle was fought, little realising the key part occurred not in the fields below the ruins, but on the very ground on which the abbey was later constructed.
The new Gatehouse exhibition will help visitors to understand the detail of the Battle of Hastings. For the first time, we're going to have an exhibition which focuses on the events of that one day, the 14th of October 1066. So in that exhibition, visitors will hear a soundscape with some of the noises of battle. They'll be able to see some of the weapons of battle, and we're going to talk about some of the big historical questions, the tactics of the time, and also questions like, how did Harold die? The viewing platform on the Gatehouse gives visitors one other thing, which is an amazing view over the Sussex countryside. So as much as for the history of the place, you can go there to enjoy the thrill of looking out over an amazing landscape.
950 years after the battle took place, we hope a visit to the very spot on which it was fought will help you to look back over the events of 1066 and consider the causes and consequences of the Norman conquest.